Hello all, today I will be working on the collection framework, and in this collection framework we will be implementing some of the things. We will be looking out into some of the features like what Arrays.asList does. Then we will be working on filter, and in the util package there is a class named as collector. We will be working on those, and finally we will be working on map. Now to discuss all this stuff, let me first of all let me close off all of the code. I've already practiced my code, and if I at some point of time find it hard to explain, I'll be looking out in the example which I have worked a few minutes earlier. So let me go to a new file, and okay. So inside this file explain there will be only one class, public static void main, and it will be taking string as an argument. Fine. Now let me, for type safety, let me declare that it is an integer type of list, and let me name it as list. So Java is a case sensitive language. It simply refers to it simply means that this capital letter list, this is a interface, and this list is a variable. So both of these things are not the same. Now we'll be doing what? We will be using arrays and list. Arrays as list, fine, and we'll be passing on some integer values, maybe say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So okay, so it is asking to import the util package. So inside the util package all these things are present, and the list is okay, cannot convert to, okay, so list is an interface, so you need to implement it. To implement it, I am using new array list and then passing on this arrays as lists. Now let me explain this part of the code. So array list is also not working. Let me see whether there is a solution to the problem. And it's saying to import java.util something. Okay, util.arrays array list, and there is also another one. Okay, so there is another issue, import java list. Okay, fine. So let me print arrays as list. Okay, so far so good. Okay, new array list, arrays as, okay, so there will be an diamond, this operator, so generic type. So what I am trying to explain in this line is that list, this is an interface, and I am implementing it with an array list, and this arrays.list, arrays.asList, what it does is that it takes some integer, it takes some array element and converts them to a stream, to a list. I am taking arrays, this array element, and converting into a list. So still there is a problem. Let me fix it. But it says that syntax error on token. So maybe there is a problem with the braces. Arrays as list, so far so good. Where might be the problem? So okay, fine, the error has gone. Now this is the first part which we discussed about arrays as list. Now the next part of our topic would be the filter operation, and also the collector, and also the map. Fine. So let me first discussion with this map. So what is a map? Let me write the code and then explain it what I am trying to do. So list equals to this list, take this list which I declared in the first line, then convert it to a string, and then map, and then I will be taking a variable and simply squaring that each element of the element and storing them inside that list, and then collectors dot toList, collectors dot toList, fine, let me clear out all this stuff. Okay, fine. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm taking this list and then converting it. I'm converting it to a stream of list object, and I'm using this map which works on a stream of list objects, and I'm squaring them, and this collectors.toList converts it to the list and stores them inside the list. Now the problem with this particular thing is there is still one error, syntax on token comma. Okay, so there is some problem with the comma, but it can be. So before moving on, let me comment out this line and check whether my program is running successfully or not. For that we will be using for each loop, and we will be taking for each. So for each loop would be applied on the list. So list dot for each, and it will be p taking out each of the element, and then sys out means it simply will be printing out the elements. Okay, so sys out no selection, fine. For each system dot out dot println, and it would be printing the p. Let me check whether my list has been created or not. So arrays as array list, okay, fine. Arrays as list, there is a bracket open. I think there should be a closing parenthesis also. Okay, fine. Now my code will be working fine. There are no problem with the parentheses. Let me clear out the console and run the program. So it's Java, and the name of the program is explain.java. Explain.java, fine. There is one problem with the parentheses, so let me clear out the curly brace at the end of my screen and run the program again. So it's printing 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now let me I told you already that this collect, okay, I didn't run this portion of code. So what I need to do is that let me take this portion of code, Control X, and go inside it, Control V. Now after applying this particular line, if I print the element, so also let me give a couple of duplicate elements. So maybe 4 and the 5 is the duplicate element, and let me print it out, Control V, fine. So let's see what happens. So so that there is not a new line printing, I'll be removing the ln and printing it. Let me print out and see what happens. Let me compile the program once again. Okay, so Java explain.java, it ran in one line. Okay, so there is a problem. Java C. Okay, so 4 9 16 there are no gaps. Okay, fine. This one feature is something which I learned just as of now, that if we just directly run a program without compilation, it works fine. So what I will be doing is that I will be appending a space at the end of each element of the list element of the list which I have just created. Then we save the program and run it once again. Java explain.java. Wow, this is a new feature which I didn't know of. I just learned in this Visual Studio Code I learned just now that you don't need to compile the program using Java C with the name of the program and then run the program. You can do it all at one go by simply writing Java and then the name of the program. So it's printing 4 9 16 25 36 49 16 25. So collectors, what it does is that collects collection to .toList. This works on a stream of list element, and this toList converts it to the list. Now there is another this collector framework has another function, set. So to use set, I will be declaring set, and for the type safety I will be declaring it as an integer, and I will be giving it a new name, maybe the name of the set, or maybe new set, and then I will be using list.stream. Okay, this particular line of code, let me paste it in here, and I won't be using toList, I will be using toSet. Fine. So there are some error on it. Okay, so I won't be squaring the element. I will be using the stream API, and I will be simply collect. Okay, so there are some error. Set integer in new set, list I'm converting it to a stream, and then finally collectors dot toList. So what is the error? Okay, so cannot convert from set integer to set integer, java util dot collection dot stream. Okay, so type mismatch, cannot convert from set integer to set integer. Okay, so to set collectors dot collect. Let me take a look at my example. The name of my example was sum.java. Let me take a quick look in the program which I practiced earlier. Okay, so stream.collect, it should work fine. So list.stream collect.collectors.toSet. What might be the problem? Set of integer new set. This is the list and quick fix. Import set dot still is not working. Let me copy this particular line of code and see whether I am getting any errors or not. Control C and then pasting it in. Okay, so the error has already gone. So all I had to do is that I had to import this util package. Fine. So collectors, what it does is that it works on stream, a stream of object, and collectors.toList means converting it to list. And as we know, the list can contain duplicate element, whereas toSet, that is set, doesn't contain any duplicate element. So now if I am printing this this new set, you won't be finding any duplicate elements. So initially the duplicate elements were, see, 4, 9, 16, 25, then 36, and then again 49, and then 16 and 25 was the repetition. Now if I print this particular new set, let's see what happens. So how to distinguish which line is from whom? So let me give a sysout, fine, and I'll be, this is printing list element, and let me give another comment that printing set elements. Fine. Let me move to this portion, Control V. Fine. Let me save the program and run it on my own. So explain.java. Okay, so it's okay, fine. So printing list element and then printing, this will be set element. So see, 16, 49, 4, 36, 9, 25. So initially there were 1, 2, 4, 9, 2, 16, 3, 25, 4, 36, 5, 49, 6, 16, 7, 25, 8. So there were 8 elements in the list, and when I am converting it, I am using the collector framework to work on the stream API to store it in a set. The duplicate elements which were there, that is this particular, so I had the repetition of 16 and 25, those are being removed. Now list is an ordered collection of data. That means that when you are printing the list, the order in which it was being created, that order is being followed. Whereas if you are using set elements, set is an unordered collection of data. It will be printing the set elements in a randomized way. So this portion, this part worked fine. So what we have discussed so far is that we have discussed about Arrays.asList. It converts, it takes arrays as an input and converts them to a list. We have used the collector. We have used the collector to use it collection.collect. So it works on the stream and converts it to either to list or to set. That is what collector does. It does some operation. So here it is, stream.collect, collector.toSet. So it is converting, collector is converting to list or to set. Now we'll be using a map function. So map works on map. What is a map? If I am using map, so map is a functional operation performed on a stream. It uses a lambda expression to apply a transformation to each element in the stream. Let me break down what it means. So I will be using this map to change. It basically means that map will be taking a stream as an object and will be doing some operation, making some changes to the list of the element. So let me work on that particular list element, and I will be doing something like this. So list, I will be saving that into this portion. Okay, Okay, so I have already, this is explain.java. Okay, fine. So I have already did it, I have already done about the map. So list works on a list, then stream, and this map works, this map what it is doing is that it is working on the stream of list element and is taking each element and then squaring them up, and then this collector will be converting them to the list and will be storing it to the new list. That's what map is doing. Now let me discuss the last portion of my topic, and it will be the filter operation. So list and then convert it to the stream, and then I will be applying the filter, and this filter will be taking as a predicate. This predicate what we will be doing is that it will be printing okay, so filter sysout, no, not sysout. I will be printing if p is greater than 100, then what will be doing, not 100, there is nothing such as 100. If it is greater than, say suppose 49, so if it is greater than 10, so if p is greater than 10, then I will be using the for each loop and it will be printing the p. And let me add a space, and so concatenation in Java is done with the plus sign, still throwing some error. Okay, p cannot be resolved to a variable, fine. So filter p for each, okay. So how for each works, let me, okay, so it will be taking p, this is a lambda expression, this will be working something like this. So p and then sysout, no suggestions, fine. So let me copy this particular piece of code from here, system.out.print, control C, and let me paste it in here, control P, and it will be printing P. So this is a lambda expression, and there is a problem with the parenthesis, fine. Let me print out and see what the result is. So there will be another sysout, and it will be saying that printing the list elements greater than it says here that p is greater than 10, so elements greater than 10, fine. So here is a new line, there is another new one, after this there should be another new line. So okay, so yeah, oh, that's pretty much it. Let me run the program. So Java explain.java. So 49, this is the printing list element, then printing list elements greater than 10, and the result is, okay, so greater than 10, there is no spaces, so let me add one space here, and let me add some new lines. Okay, so concatenation is done using plus, and there will be a space. Let me add a couple of new lines. Printing list element, after that there will be a new line. So let me give a sysout here, and to make the code look nicer, let me give a sysout here also, sysout, fine. Let me run the program finally and see the output what it does. So let me clear out the console so that it looks nice and tidy, and here it is. So see, okay, so there is one error, what it says that, okay, so there won't be any comma, so there is a problem with it. Okay, let me save the file one more time, let me clear out the console and finally run the program for the one last time. So see, printing list element 4, 9, 6, 25, 36, 49, 16, 25. So this 16 and 25 is a repetition, that printing list element. So this particular portion, these particular two lines, this thing is what it is doing is that it is using the collectors and then collect and then removing the duplicate element. It is converting them to set element and storing them in a set. So set doesn't have any duplicate element, so the result is 16, 49, 4, 36, 9 and 25. Finally printing the list of elements greater than 10. So 4, 9 will be ruled out, and the resulting will be 16, 25, 36, 49, 16 and 25. So this particular filter operation was being performed on the list element, and list can have duplicate element. Since it can contain a duplicate element, so whenever we are printing this particular list element, it is also showing the duplicate elements also. And for one last experiment, let me also print the set element. I think it will work in a similar fashion. So let me copy this whole piece of code one more time. Control C. Let me paste it in here. Control V. So this will be a list for dot stream. Okay, so okay, fine, system. Okay, system printing the list element. What I'll be doing is that I'll be simply printing the set element, and this set will be working on the stream. Okay, so the name of this set is not the name of my set element was new set. So this will be performing the operation on new set, and then stream, and then filter p is greater than t, then 10. Okay, and okay, so let me run the program one last time. Let me clear out the console to look neat and tidy, and run the program. Okay, printing the set elements greater than 10. So the set element was what it was having is that 16, 49, 9 and 25. So this won't be a list, this will be okay, so new set. Let me make it set, a small bit of change, so that the console shows the right operation which I have performed. Let me run the program. So see, first of all I am printing the list element. How I am printing it? Using the for each loop. So let me explain for each. So for each this list item, it will be taking each of the element p and then printing it. And then there is Arrays.asList. Here it is, Arrays.asList. What it does is that it takes array as an input and converts them to a list of it works on list and converts them. I mean it takes all of the array element and converts them to a list. So list is an interface, and array list is an implementation of the list interface. So it is a class array list. For this reason I had to use list integer, then list, and then new array list for the implementation. We also looked into the collector framework. So collector framework has many method. I am using two of the method. One is toList and toSet. So what collector does is that collector works on the stream API, and what does is map do. Map is something which traverses through a stream of element and makes some changes to the element. So here the changes it is performing is that it is squaring up the elements present in the list and squaring them up and storing it in the list element. Then I am using the toSet function. So what is toSet does is that set doesn't allow to have you any duplicate element. So the original list was having some duplicate element, but when I converted the list to the stream and then applied the collector those toSet and stored them in a set object, so the duplicate elements were being ruled out. And the list for each something like this. Okay, I'm printing that particular list element, I'm printing the particular set element, and the stream.filter. So what filter is that? It filters out the data. So here it is saying the list.stream. So filter works on, again it works on stream API, stream of object. So list.stream, I'm converting it to a stream, then applying the filter feature. And what is the condition? Each of the element print, take each of the element, and if p is greater than 10, then for each loop print those elements. So this is the lambda function. Okay, so I think I was able to explain you the code which I did here. I'll be also posting the GitHub link to download this particular piece of code if you want to practice yourself and take a look into what I did with this code. I hope I was able to explain you the piece of code which I have worked upon. So before ending the session, let me copy this particular piece of code. Let me go to Notepad and paste this particular part of code, and I will be pushing this particular piece of code in my GitHub account, and you can download it from the GitHub account using git clone, and then the repository of where I will be pushing this element, and we will be providing it in the YouTube in the YouTube description about section. You can take a look and learn all by yourself. So that's it for now. Happy coding, and see you next time. Thanks.